Welcome to the Daily Review. This is Fed Razak, Senior Trading Strategist here at CMTrading. And today is April 1st, 2024, and today is Monday morning. So looking at the highlights today, gold pushing to new record highs. The markets are so exciting right now because there's so much rotation of things going and making new highs. But first, looking at today's major economic events. So at 5 p.m. South African time out of the United States, we have an ISM Manufacturing PMI numbers coming out. Now, looking at the various markets, starting out with the Forex symbols, the major pairs are sitting on really key areas, either support or resistance, depending on where it is against the dollar. Now, looking at the indices, the Dow Jones and the NASDAQ on their highs and even gapping higher this morning. Looking at the commodities, gold making new highs, while oil pushing higher to 83, almost $84 a barrel. Now, looking at the stocks, they're really mixed. And lastly, looking at cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin dipping below 70K. So let's take a look at the markets and see what we can expect from today's trading. Here we go. First with the Euro USD on a support level, not a major support level, but still in a support level. 107.86 is where we're at. Now, if we look at most of the majors, they're on either a support and resistance level. This is one, okay? Yes, can it go lower to 107? That's really its major support level. We have 60 pips to get there. But the euro has been very choppy, so let's not just focus on the euro. The British pound, right off of its supportish level, 126-ish level. If you look at the Japanese yen, on its resistance level versus the dollar. And if the dollar pushes higher, it could make new record lows against the Japanese yen. Now, the Turkish Lira, lots of things happening in Turkey right now as local elections are kind of unseating kind of the popular vote of Erdogan, the prime minister. And this is really very interesting because there's been this type of economics for Turkey for quite some time, and we're back on our record lows. So we did make that correction and then back on our record lows. The question is whether or not we're going to continue making new lows, see what the full impact of these local elections is going to have on the greater part of Turkey as well. So this may be an interesting play. Remember, this has gone down from about 8 in 2021 to 32 in 2024. So that's over, 3 times, 4 times in just about a year. Every year it just gets increasingly weaker. And so there needs to be some sort of change in Turkey for reestablish the economy and kind of stabilize the country. Now, jumping into commodities. Gold, the big play, okay, making and pushing to new record highs and closing close to its highs, which may mean that it's going to continue going. If we look at a 4-hour chart, you can see that a little bit clearer. 2260, a nice really follow through. I'd like to see it continue as this is breaking out, okay? But don't chase it, okay? Because it's made a tremendous headway on the upside. Now, looking at crude oil, also pushing higher to almost $84 a barrel. Now, this is, if we look at a daily chart, breaking out, okay? Now, we haven't seen this area since November 2023, where we hit $94 a barrel as that kind of solidifies. Now, looking at the U.S. markets, Dow Jones gapping up to its record highs, as you can see here, 40,300-ish level. That's all intents and purposes new record highs. What I'd like to see is a follow through from the stocks because the indices are going before the stocks, and that's kind of interesting. Okay, now we are hitting April, which is a crazy month for economic corporate earnings. Okay, earnings for corporations are coming out this month, and they're going to start trickling in, and it's major. Okay, especially since some of the bank stocks will come out with it as well. NASDAQ also on its highs. Now, if we look at the individual stocks, not everything is on its high. Apple's still gravitating and having a hard time. Okay, so it's on its lows, okay, relatively for yearly lows. If we look at a weekly chart, okay, if we look at ALCOA though, it's moving higher. Okay, if we look at JP Morgan, it kind of took a break, but it's back on its highs above $200 a share, and that has gotten stronger. If we look at Microsoft, though, not. Okay, so there's rotation in the markets right now, and this continues to happen. Facebook also on the downside, not pushing higher. If you look at NVIDIA also, it's still on the retracement side, making a double top. That's a little bit disconcerting. Now, I'm not saying this is going to sell off relatively. We're not in the sell-off type of year, but we are hitting, April, and then we're going to hit the final primaries for the U.S. votes for the Republican and Democratic leaders. The next president run-up between Trump and Biden, take two. So this is still unfolding. All right, so news on the wire. Now looking at Bitcoin dipping below 70K on its supporters level. If it does break this area, we may see it break lower, but it's kind of just trading sideways. It's consolidating at the top of the range. It has appreciated tremendously, but just remember, it's Bitcoin, okay? So anything can go, anything can happen, so just trade it responsibly. This is Razak. I want to wish you guys a great trading day. Thank you.